Well, good morning. This is Barry O'Brien here on CV Radio, and we are once again with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyle from the Mayor's office here in downtown West Palm Beach. Good morning, Mayor Moyle.
Good morning, Barry. How are you today?
I am doing fine, I'm getting tired of saying another Chamber of Commerce weather day. Boy,
Beautiful.
we've had an amazing stretch of good weather here. Well, while we're on that, so this was about 5 down on my list, but I'll start it at the beginning. We read in the papers that they're saying that this is going to be a more quiet than normal hurricane season. And they're also saying, I guess it's going to be a little warmer and a little drier than normal. And of course, that's a little bit dangerous to be taking the averages because just because you have a less active season doesn't mean that nothing is going to hit. You could get hit with a big one. We have a lot of talk about what individuals should do as far as hurricane preparedness is involving your house, with having gallons of water and knowing where to go and whatever. What does a city of West Palm Beach do? I mean, you have so many different departments, you've got buildings, you've got vehicles. How do you prepare for hurricanes, and how do you communicate with all your employees?
Yep. Well, first of all, we have an emergency manager who's in charge of making sure that we are prepared for any kind of disaster that we might face. We have a comprehensive emergency management plan, which has very recently been updated. In that plan, it outlines everybody's responsibility in an emergency, from my responsibility on down to the groundskeepers and the landscapers.
Did they give you a little whistle or something? Are you in charge of all the troops?
Yeah, I think I am, actually. We have an emergency operations center where certain people are stationed, and everybody has a role. And we have reviewed that role. People are encouraged to review the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan, which we call SEMP. We are pretty well prepared.
Now, when you say you have an emergency preparedness center, what did you call that?
Emergency and EOC, Emergency Operations Center.
Yes, okay. I know how those work. Now, is this one that is separate from Palm Beach County?
Yes, we have our own.
So you have your own.
We have had that in various places, but we're just completing the building of a fire station, and that's the fire station where our EOC will be. So the EOC has been built there in particular to withstand a Cat 5 hurricane. We're going to have all of our dispatch set up there, and
will that be ready before this hurricane season?
Soon. I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be ready before this one, but we have another emergency operations center at the police department.
I remember getting a tour last year of the emergency headquarters up in Palm Beach Gardens. It was very impressive, I'll tell you. Impressive. It really was, and I guess the last hurricanes that hit really showed a lot of people a lot of the weaknesses and vulnerabilities and whatever. What's the story with generators? I know that I guess it's either the county or the state has required a lot of gas stations and supermarkets to, and I know that a lot of them have upgraded. How does that affect the city? What sort of facilities do we have that have generated power? And how would that affect citizens?
Yeah, we do have certain facilities that have generated power. Certainly our EOC will have generators. We are right now talking about needing a better generator for our IT department with all of the computer hardware that is housed there. So, we have specific generator areas that have generators. The other thing I wanted to add about emergency preparedness is that right now we're in an amnesty period for yard waste pickup, which means that if you have our yard waste, and we're encouraging you to trim your trees, get rid of the coconuts and other things, make sure your yards are well trimmed so there's no flying debris, you can put that out, and it can be a bigger pile than it usually is. So that, I believe, goes to June 1st, and we hope that people will take advantage of that.
Any words of wisdom to people who live in West Palm Beach who have not experienced a hurricane before and have only read about it?
Well, I was living in West Palm Beach about a year when we had Francis and Jean come through. So it was really quite an experience. Be ready. All of the things you've ever heard. At our house, we just had someone come in and lubricate our hurricane shutters. So, get your shutters ready, make sure they're ready to be put on, have your water available, and all of the other things you've heard people talk about. And get ready.
Get ready.
And just because they are predicting it will be a lower than average season doesn't mean that one hurricane won't end up hitting us. Although I have every year issued an executive order that there would be no hurricanes hitting West Palm Beach. So,
And
so
how
far
was your
it's
track
worked.
record on
So
that?
far, 3 for 3.
That's very good. That's very good. I wanted to ask you about the downtown trolley that goes around. Now, there was some discussion a couple of months ago about expanding the route over to the Outlets Mall, and that's a whole different discussion. But I'm just wondering, that's been in existence for a while. How is the ridership on that? When I go out there, it seems very well received. There seem to be a lot of people on it.
Yeah, the ridership is excellent, actually. We have about 700,000 rides a year, and I think close to 50,000 a week, something like that. That doesn't add up right, but it's very well.
And a
very
lot
well
of people,
used.
you use it. You can use it as a shuttle to go from the Tri-Rail into
Right.
downtown, correct?
And that's a more recent route we added a couple of years ago, and we see a lot of folks who work in downtown who take the train from Tri-Rail hopping that trolley. As a matter of fact, when we put it in, one of the county commissioners called me and said, "I take Tri-Rail every day now."
That would be Steve Abrams.
I wasn't going to say name, but that would be Steve
Oh,
Abrams.
Steve is a great train supporter.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is. And when we put the trolley in place, he was very excited about being able to hop the trolley and get to the government center. So
That's great. Well, we're with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo from the mayor's office. We're going to take a brief break here and hear from Cosmo and Company, which just this week moved to their new location down in Dixie. So we'll be right back. Barry O'Brien here from the mayor's office. I'm with West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo. Thanks to our friends at Cosmo and Company for bringing this to you every Saturday and Sunday morning. What would a discussion every week with you be without discussing All Aboard Florida? It seems, what would it be? I know that their train station that they are proposing for downtown West Palm Beach looks like it's going to require the closure of Ivernia Street and Datura Street at Quadrille. I'm wondering, what are the city's thoughts on this? I mean, they've got to get your approval in order to build the station. Obviously, you want the station to come in. You want the improved economic things that are going to happen from this. What are you looking as a partnership from them to make this all work?
Well, actually, there are only certain things that they have to get our approval for, not everything. They do have a lot of rights in terms of their right-of-way and where their tracks are. That being said, the train station has to be long enough to accommodate the train, which means that I think it has to be about 1,000 feet, and therefore it closes off Datura and Ivernia. We are very proud of our grid, our downtown grid, the way our streets work. It's almost textbook. It's such a nice grid, and disrupting that grid is not something we do lightly. And this will disrupt the grid. So we have said to them from the very beginning that there are a few things we would like to see happen. One is that we have 2 pedestrian crossings at Ivernia and Datura, one at each. That we have a parallel road west of the station, so people, if they're headed east on Datura or Ivernia, rather than running into the station and having to turn around, they can go north or south to one of the other open streets. And quiet zones are really important to us. So we continue to work with them on this and continue to reiterate our priorities and what we expect to see happen. And we have had an excellent working relationship with All Aboard Florida. We meet with them every 2 weeks. And go over, everything. And just today, they've issued their economic impact statement. I haven't yet read it, but they just issued it for public consumption. So.
Well, that's good. There was a little thing in the paper this morning about the DDA wanting to somehow figure out a way to put a dog park downtown. Where can they make that happen? As somebody who owns a condo downtown, and we used to have our dogs down there, I know it's a challenge finding a place to let. We used to go down to Howard Park, and that was a very nice little dog park, but you had to get in the car to bring them down there. Any thoughts of where this could go downtown?
I don't. I know that there are a couple of properties that are being considered. I can't tell you which ones at this point. But I happened to be around a lot of dog owners in the downtown the other day for an opening of a pet shop, and they were all talking about the dog park. And I also happened to hear that our folks who are responsible for cleaning up the waterfront are concerned about the amount of cleanup they have to do after dogs. And I would remind people to clean up after your dog, please, so my people don't have to do that.
Yes, please. As a dog owner, I'm disgusted when I see that. I mean, that's just part of the responsibility. When you own a dog, you pick up after them. It just goes with it.
So hopefully if we have a dog park, there might be, people might take their dogs to the dog park, and we might have a cleaner waterfront. But, we really encourage people to pick up after their dogs. We have stations, lots, with bags periodically in the downtown, so there's no excuse.
I wanted to congratulate you and West Palm Beach winning the Green Business Challenge. Says you got a $20,000 donation from the National Green Business Challenge from Office Depot. And just so everybody knows, talk about being politically correct and being green, the press release is on two sides of the paper, so we're not wasting any paper. So what are we going to do with the 20 grand?
It probably would be better if it weren't on paper at all.
That's right, if it was digital, but
right. We're going to use the 20 grand to continue the work that we're doing with our Green Business Challenge. So we have been involved with the Green Business Challenge for a couple of years now, trying to get businesses in our area to consider ways to lower their carbon footprint. And we've worked with a couple of places, including Schumacher and St. Mary's, and I know there's others. There's a little liquor store on Cameron that we've worked with because they want to be a green liquor store.
Tanqueray.
I'm not sure what that means, green cream de menthe or something. But we're here to help your business turn green, so give us a call.
Well, that's great. Well, that's it for this week. I want to thank West Palm Beach Mayor Jerry Moyo. I'm Barry O'Brien. We will see you next Saturday and Sunday morning, and I'll see you here on CB Radio at 6:05 on Tuesday night.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.